Is this supposed to be in the case? I mean, I guess it makes sense that no mere mortal case could possibly contain the OneXPlayer OXP2. This thing is basically like if your Steam Deck was bigger, faster, higher resolution, and could do this little party trick. The controllers come off, it's like a Switch, but like massive. Oh, and they're really cool. Check this out. Hall effect joysticks, pretty good feeling ABX-wise. Shoulder buttons, feel all right too. But Hall effect triggers, that's right. Better accuracy, most importantly, better durability, and my expectation is that they're gonna have very little in the way of dead zones. Because of the way Hall effect sensors work, you don't need to have a giant dead zone in the middle in order to prevent drift, which isn't really preventing it, it's just masking it until it becomes egregious. Let's talk about the compute body. That's not their name for it, that's my name for it. This right here is packed full of the latest tech. So it's got an AMD Ryzen 6800U, that means 8 Zen 3 cores, and a Radeon 6800M GPU. That's an even more powerful RDNA 2 GPU than what is found in the Steam Deck, which it should be because it does cost considerably more and is actually considerably like thicker. Look at this thing go. Holy shnikes. I mean, yeah, I know that obviously none of the compute is in the controllers because these are super light. These weigh like next to nothing. But that is a thick boy compared to the Steam Deck. There's some other really interesting stuff going on here too. It's available anywhere from 512 gig all the way up to 2 terabyte capacities. And it's got USB-A, okay? Micro SD expansion, USB 4 with claimed support for eGPUs, headphone jack, volume up and down, power button, and yes, that's right, my friends. Right next to the little label that says hardcore gamers is a turbo button. Taking me back to the 486 days. I love it. Obviously nothing on the side except for the pogo pin pads that are gonna contact these controllers. And then on the bottom, another USB-C connector. I actually don't know which one is USB 4 because my spec sheet only mentions one USB 4 port. So, cool. We've also got our speaker grills, and this is interesting. It does 20 volt, 5 amp charging. So that's 100 watt charging on this thing. They claim that you can get to 50% battery capacity in just half an hour. As for the battery capacity, they're claiming anywhere from 3 to 6 hours thanks to the 65 watt hour battery. That explains why this thing is so chunky. By comparison, the Steam Deck is somewhere in the 40 to 45, 40 watt hour range. So this has over 50% more battery capacity. That also contributes to some extra weight. It's pretty heavy. Now, this is a prototype, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna give OneXPlayer feedback on it. I think these rails have gotta get a little bit tighter. There's more wobble in these than I would like to see. Maybe they can, metal up the interface in here. But man, I've gotta say, I am liking the display. These guys have a reputation for packing super high resolution screens into their handhelds. Sometimes higher resolution than even makes sense. This one is 2560 by 1600, which, I mean, I guess there are some games that the 6800U would be able to power at that res, but that is not gonna be what you're running AAA games at. The good news is that that pixel density is so high that what I've found is that when you run it at a non-native resolution, it doesn't look so bad compared to the old days when we had, 1280 by 1024 desktop monitors. Those looked awful when you ran them at anything other than native res. But once you get up into like 4K, 5K desktop monitors and like 1440p and a 8.4 inch display, it's no longer nearly as big of an issue. Just the interpolation doesn't look so obvious. Oh, I guess there's some other cool features we can talk about while that finishes. One is that it's got a kickstand, so much like the Switch, you don't actually have to use it with the controllers. You can just say, forget the controllers, pack your own controller, whether it's an Xbox controller with Microsoft's dongle or PlayStation or Xbox controller connected via Bluetooth, and then just kind of set it up and game on the go. You don't have to run games natively on the device. So in my recent review on the Linus Tech Tips channel of the Logitech G Cloud, I talked about how sometimes it actually just does make more sense to stream a game. You get better battery life, and as long as you're on your home Wi-Fi, I mean, man, Steam Link is so good these days that unless you're playing something that really requires like pixel perfect precision, you know, playing like Super Meat Boy or something like that, most people probably won't notice. Obviously, I wouldn't play Counter-Strike on a streamed connection, but I'm also not gonna be playing Counter-Strike on like a screen this size, but with my little tiny keyboard and mouse, you know, horses for courses, right? This video is brought to you by Secret Lab. Secret Lab chairs are engineered to keep you incredibly comfortable for long hours at work or play. Their Titan Evo 2022 chair keeps you feeling comfortable for longer thanks to their 4-way lumbar support, their lineup of ultra comfortable seat materials, and more. All their chairs come with up to a 5-year extended warranty and a 49-day return policy, so don't wait, head to the link in the description to check out Secret Lab today. I have high hopes for the speakers. They're apparently powered by Harman, but then again, this says just, I don't know what a Harman Audio EFX is. I haven't heard of that before. Oh, what the devil is this? Huh. There's a little magnetic something that, oh, okay. Ah, well, the adhesive came off this. Again, it's a prototype. What the heck? The volume down button is opening up the on-screen keyboard right now. So I guess we're stuck with game audio. Okay, let's have a look at how big these dead zones are. Ooh. Those are bigger than I'd like. Look at that. No cursor movement. Guys, you're missing out on a lot of the benefit of a Hall effect joystick if you're gonna have a giant dead zone like that in the middle of it. Yes, you still get the improved durability, but like, I want that precision. When you don't have a big dead zone in the middle of it, it makes aiming so much easier. Ooh. That is not a lot of frames per seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and get that reconfigured. Quick preset medium? I don't think so. Okay, well that's definitely running. Yeah, there's no obvious precision advantage to these Hall effect joysticks when they've got these giant dead zones on them. Like, look at this. Okay, so I'm going in a straight line. Oh, I'm moving around this much, and I'm still going in a straight line, right? If you want to make small adjustments, you gotta have small dead zones. So we're running at 1% lows of around 30 FPS on low at 1280 by 800. Oh, but what if we kick things into turbo mode? Holy crap, what is turbo mode doing? We just jumped to a nice 69 average FPS. My 1% lows are now 46. Okay, hold on, I'm not in as dense a spot. Let's get turned around here. Yeah, you can hear the fan going, hey? Oh, whoops, oh shoot. 100% playable. Not at the most amazing details. We're not turning on ray tracing or whatever, but this is 100% playable. This is a really big display for 720p though. I think 1080 would be my sweet spot here. Can we get away with that? What do you think? Can we get away with 1080? Some dips. Some dips. Whoa, whoa, I gotta get control of this car. Even with the lower frame rate and the dips, I would probably play like this. It's not OLED, it's not high refresh rate, only 60 hertz, but they rated at 350 nits with 88% coverage of the NTSC color space, and it, subjectively anyway, looks pretty darn good. No obvious, just like, oh yeah, the reds are way overblown or greens are way out or anything like that. We, wouldn't really evaluate a prototype based on that anyway, since that's down to calibration at the factory. So that's something that we'd want to see from like a finished unit to determine how accurate it is out of the box, but it certainly has the capability. On a device like this, I absolutely would use dynamic resolution scaling, but I want to see how the hardware actually performs, so I'm turning it off for now. Never actually played the original game. Heard it's really good though. Okay. Well, if I could get up there, Brandon.
You can just climb up the wall.
I mean, I guess. Oh, you can literally just run up the wall. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. You're Spider-Man. You know what? Whatever I'm having trouble with in terms of controls here, none of that matters. My lows are in the 25 FPS range. My averages are in the 40 FPS range. That is extremely playable. Man, the 6800U is a game changer in terms of mobile gaming. Okay, it's running at low, but it's running at 1920 by 1200, and on a screen this size, you don't notice graphical details being turned down as much. It looks awesome. There's some other cool stuff to talk about. These pogo pins are apparently for an optional detachable keyboard. It has support for up to 4,096 pressure levels with like a Microsoft Surface Pen stylus, which is neat, I guess. It has a 6-axis gyroscope, so you can use that for aim assist. Does require a little bit of software configuration to get that working just right, but it can be a great way to make fine adjustments to your aim, especially if you can't rely on your joysticks to not have dead zones. Again, hopefully they have that fixed for the final version. It starts at $989, so yeah, this size and performance, and you know, it's not even that loud. Doesn't get hot. Comes at a cost. The max spec one is $1,400 US, but it is a markedly different experience from what you get with the Steam Deck, though the Steam Deck is a lot less expensive. Oh, we never tried the speakers. These really don't sound very good. But I've still seen that done better. I've also seen a video outro done better. Bye.